Hi, I'm Billy of the Fuji Guys, here to give you a first look preview of the new Fujifilm X30 camera. This is Fuji's latest camera in its X series lineup, and it's a direct update to the current X20 camera. Although the X30 does look a lot like the X20, there are some major updates, especially in its design. First off, the camera has a more modern look to it, so as you can see, there are a lot more straighter edges around the camera. The dimensions of the camera are slightly larger. It allows you to hold and grip the camera a lot better. In fact, it offers a new rubberized grip in the front of the camera that gives you a nice texture so that when you hold it with one hand, it's a lot easier to hold. Now, the size of the camera is also larger due to the fact that it now offers a higher capacity battery. It uses the same battery as the X100 series of cameras, the NP95 battery, and it's going to allow you to take a lot more shots per charge so that you're not running out at the end of the day. Just like the X20, the X30 also comes both in the silver and black as well as the all black finish. Just like the X20, the X30 uses an 2/3 inch X-Trans CMOS sensor with built-in phase detection for very fast focusing. Turning on the cameras just like the X20, you change the zoom dial from the off position to the 28mm point and the camera's ready to shoot. Zooming in, zooming out, the camera can zoom directly to 112mm, which is the 35mm equivalent, and it actually has dial markings right on the lens itself. It is also how you zoom the lens by manually zooming in and out. One of the major updates to the X30 camera is its viewfinder. Instead of the optical viewfinder that's found on Fuji's X20 camera, it incorporates the same electronic viewfinder found on Fujifilm's X-E2, and that's a 2.36 million dot organic LED display. It also has a built-in eye sensor as well as a diopter adjustment. Although optical viewfinders do offer some great benefits, electronic viewfinders offer greater benefits to the customer, especially if you're a new photographer. When you're shooting in manual modes, as you adjust both the aperture and shutter on the camera, the viewfinder itself will auto-adjust the exposure so that even before you take the picture, you know exactly how the picture is going to turn out. And that's not the same with an optical viewfinder. Another update to this camera is that it offers a tilt LCD that allows you to shoot in high and low angle, giving you different vantage points when taking photos with this camera. There's also a different view mode options where you can use just the LCD, you can use just the electronic viewfinder, or you can use the eye sensor to switch between the LCD and the electronic viewfinder. In addition to that, if you're concerned about battery life, there's also a power save mode for it where it turns off both the LCD and the electronic viewfinder, and it only switches the electronic viewfinder on when you put your eyes up to it so that the eye sensor detects that. And that's going to give you a lot more shots per charge with this camera. The X30 camera inherits the control ring that's found on the XQ1 camera, and this adds an extra feature to the camera that allows you to adjust aperture, shutter speeds, and depending on the modes that you're shooting at, whether it's using advanced filters, you can also quickly change the different filter selections just using the control ring. The control ring can be configured within the camera so that it can either be set as a standard function or it can be assigned for things like film simulation modes to quickly adjust on the fly. Based on a lot of feedback from customers, Fuji has really listened and updated the movie mode on the X30. Not only does it offer Full HD 1080p at 60 frames a second, it now allows you to select the frame rates from 50 frames, 30 frames, 25 frames, as well as 24 frames a second to give you a cinematic-like look to the video. It also offers an external mic input with mic controls so that you can adjust the levels in the camera. Now in the past, the exposure on the video mode auto-adjusts based on the lighting situation. That has also been changed so that you can now manually set both the ISO, the shutter speeds, and the aperture. In addition to that, you can also manually focus during the video, which makes this camera the perfect camera to take with you to do quick videos. Like most Fuji cameras, the X30 offers a dedicated Q button to give you quick access to some of the commonly used image parameters on this camera. What's new is that the camera now offers you the ability to customize what item appears inside that Q menu. There's also a new classic chrome mode when it comes to film simulation. that sort of simulates more of a softer look to the photo and giving you a little bit more contrast, similar to some of the old classic chrome films out there. There's also a function button on the back of this camera. In fact, there's 6 different function buttons that can be configured. By holding down the display button for a few seconds, you can quickly bring that up and fully customize what quick functions you like to use with those buttons. There's also a menu in the camera that allows you to change the directional pads so that you can have direct access to the autofocus points using the directional pad, so that you don't have to push the AF button before you move the points. And that's something that a lot of people are going to appreciate with this camera. The X30 offers Wi-Fi capabilities that allow you to transfer images and video directly to your smart device. You can also download the camera remote app from iOS and Android that allows you to control the camera remotely, allowing you to trigger its shutter as well as change some of the image parameters. You can also even see a live preview on the back of your device of what the camera is seeing, making it easier for you to frame your shots. The X30 offers a list of new features and functions from its predecessors, from things like interval shooting, to the ability to base your spot muting on the AF points, to sizing the manual focus window larger or smaller, as well as using focus peaking colors like red and blue to make it easier to manually focus with this camera. The graphical user interface has also been improved so that the font that's being used is a lot clearer. It's also less intrusive, so that when you're looking through the viewfinder, it doesn't get in your way. In fact, when you use the electronic viewfinder, the information also rotates with you as well, making it a lot easier to frame your shots. The camera does offer the ability to charge via USB. It does include a charger where you connect the USB to it and the other end goes to the camera. But you can also conveniently connect it to your computer to charge via the USB port. So when you do travel, you carry less things with you with this camera. The design of the camera has been improved in terms of the buttons and control. Things like auto ISO now has 2 options to it as well, making it a lot more customizable. These are some feedback, like I said again, that Fuji's really listening to, and it's actually implemented on this camera. If you want to learn more about this camera, which is coming out in the fall, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at FujiGuys. Until then, I'm Billy of the Fuji Guys.